Have you ever been told make decisions with your head, not your heart? It's a common piece of advice that we've all heard before. But have you ever stopped to question its validity? Now, let's put on our critical thinking caps and dive into this claim together.
Is it true that decisions made with less emotions are always better? Can logic and reason really outweigh our instincts and feeling when it comes to making choices? In this video, we'll explore the role of emotions and logical thinking in decision making. By examining different perspectives, we'll uncover whether there's more to this age-old advice that meets the eye.
So join me as we navigate the fascinating world of critical thinking and unravel the complexities of making decisions with both our heads and hearts. You see, the reality is that predicting which decision is better or worse in the long term isn't that simple.
If two individuals with identical circumstances choose different jobs, one with higher income and stress, the other with lower income but more comfort, we can't easily forecast who will be happier or more regretful about their choice a year later. It's entirely possible that both might have regrets or be satisfied, or one might be content while the other isn't. In other words, the decision of either person is neither right or wrong in itself. The rightness or wrongness, or whether the decision is good or bad, depends on their level of satisfaction. In this example, as in many other aspects of life, if we disregard individual emotions and feelings, we cannot truly judge the outcome. So, when it comes to making decisions, critical thinking urges us to carefully evaluate our own values, goals, and priorities. The best choice for you might not be the same for someone else. Reflect on what matters most to you. Is it financial success, work-life balance, personal growth, or perhaps something else entirely? What I'm trying to convey here is that a multitude of factors must come together to make a high-quality decision. We can't simply oversimplify the issue and provide a one-size-fits-all formula, such as claiming that decisions are always better if they're not emotional. What's even more amusing is assuming that the outcome of a decision is automatically better.
How did you find the video so far? If you found it useful, please consider liking and subscribing if you haven't already.
To truly determine whether a decision is right or wrong, and to evaluate its quality,
we need to focus on the decision-making process itself, independent of the decision perceived goodness or badness. You can find countless examples where it's not necessarily true that less emotional decisions are better.
Imagine a doctor who decides, based solely on medical science, to keep a patient alive longer, yet disregards the impact on the patient's quality of life and suffering during treatment. Similarly, in many other areas, such as personal relationships, financial decisions, business, education, or legal and political choices, a purely logical approach might overlook crucial factors. I don't want to make the video unnecessarily lengthy. I'm sure you can think of numerous examples yourself. The key takeaway here is that decisions should be judged by their context and consequences, rather than solely on how much emotion played a part in the process. A balanced mix of reason and emotion, as well as considering the impact on ourselves and others, can help us navigate life's complex decisions more effectively. Interestingly, in some cases like medical, legal, or certain political decisions, ignoring emotions not only fails to lead to better decisions, but can even create disastrous consequences. For example, a judge's decision in a legal matter, or a political leader's choice to engage in war, requires empathy and consideration of human emotions. Failing to do so can have grave and irreversible outcomes. Another point to consider is that eliminating emotional aspects from decision making is not only undesirable, but it's also impractical. Emotions are a natural part of human nature, refined over millions of years of evolution, and each one, from love and compassion to anger and hatred, has evolved as a part of our survival mechanisms. Emotions are an integral part of our being and cannot be completely separated from our decision-making processes. Attempting to make decisions without any emotional input is unrealistic because emotions are deeply embedded in our cognitive processes. In fact, research in neuroscience and psychology has shown that emotions play a crucial role in shaping our thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors. They influence our attention, memory, and reasoning, which all contribute to our decision-making abilities. Emotions guide our motivation and commitment, which are essential for following through with our decisions. Emotional engagement is the key to maintaining motivation and perseverance. Decisions made without emotional involvement may lack the necessary commitment for their implementation, potentially leading to half-hearted efforts and suboptimal results. When we feel emotionally connected to our choices, we are more likely to invest time, energy, and resources into making them successful. Emotions provide the fuel that propels us to overcome obstacles and stay focused on our goals. For example, consider an entrepreneur who starts a business driven by their passion for a cause or desire to make a positive impact. Their emotional connection to the business's mission can inspire them to persevere through challenges and setbacks. On the other hand, decisions made solely based on logical reasoning, without any emotional investment, might not have the same driving force behind them. A person may choose a career path based on factors like salary and job security, but may ultimately find themselves feeling unfulfilled or disengaged.
So, what we really need to avoid in decision making are impulsive decisions. But what actually are they?
Impulsive decisions are choices made spontaneously, without much thought or consideration for the consequences. These decisions often arise from a strong urge or desire to act immediately. Picture this: you're out shopping and spot an expensive pair of shoes you've been eyeing for a while. Without considering your budget or whether you really need them, you make an impulse purchase, only to regret it later when you realize you've overspent. That's an example of an impulsive decision. Now, it's not just about shopping. Impulsive decisions can affect our relationships, careers, and health as well. Imagine quitting a job on a whim, getting into an argument with a loved one without thinking about the impact, or impulsively deciding to skip a workout session despite having fitness goals. While spontaneous decisions can sometimes lead to exciting outcomes, making a habit of acting on impulse can have adverse effects in the long run. To make better choices, it's essential to be aware of our impulses and learn to take a step back, weigh the pros and cons, and consider the potential consequences before making a decision. To improve our decision-making skills and make high-quality choices, we should learn to harness both our logical reasoning and emotional intelligence. The key is to avoid impulsive decisions, as they tend to be hasty, reactive, and often lead to unfavorable outcomes. By taking the time to understand and evaluate our emotions properly in the decision-making process, especially when dealing with important matters, we'll undoubtedly achieve better results. Can you think of any other examples of impulsive decisions that might not be in our best interest? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's help each other learn and grow.
If you found this video useful, I suggest you watching this one as your next video. Thanks for watching and see you there.